This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. As we turn now to a discussion on what's being hailed as a major milestone for the global campaign to boycott and divest from Israel over its treatment of Palestinians. At its General Convention in Detroit Friday, the Presbyterian Church of the U.S. voted to divest from 3 companies that it says supply Israel with equipment used in the occupation of Palestinian territory. The companies are Motorola Solutions, Caterpillar, and Hewlett-Packard. The value of Presbyterian holdings in the companies is about $21 million. According to the church, the companies profit from Israeli occupation of Palestinian land by selling bulldozers, surveillance technology, and other similar products. The decision by the Presbyterian Church USA to divest passed by 7 votes, 310 to 303, making it the largest religious group to vote for divestment. 2 years ago, the Assembly rejected a similar divestment proposal by 2 votes. The vote also supported interfaith cooperation, the right of Israel to exist, and a 2-state solution. To talk about the vote's significance, we're joined by 2 guests. In Cleveland, Ohio, Dr. Nahida Gordon is with us, Professor Emeritus Emerita at Case Western Reserve University. She's a Palestinian-American who was born in Jerusalem before 1948. She's a Presbyterian, a member of the steering committee of the Israel-Palestine Mission Network in the Presbyterian Church USA. In San Francisco, Rabbi Alyssa Wise is with us, Director of Organizing at Jewish Voice for Peace. Her group supported the Presbyterian Church's divestment decision. We welcome you both to Democracy Now! I want to begin in Cleveland. Let's begin with Dr. Nahida Gordon. Explain what happened this time. What made this vote different from the vote before when this was defeated?
I think with time, more people in the Presbyterian Church, particularly the commissioners who were on the floor of the General Assembly, are beginning to know more of what is really going on in the West Bank, in East Jerusalem and Gaza. Thanks to the news and news sources on the internet, they're beginning to see more and more of what is going on in Palestine and the terrible conditions under which the Palestinians are living. And I think we built from last General Assembly to this Assembly, and so we know more, we understand more, and we had some people on the floor who said some wonderful things to explain what is going on, and we organized, we worked very hard for this decision, and we succeeded, and we're very gratified that we succeeded.
Can you talk about the companies that the Presbyterian Church will divest from?
Yes. We feel that the church would be complicit in the occupation if we remain divested in these 3 companies. Caterpillar, I don't know, most people have seen these very huge D9 bulldozers which are weaponized. They have machine guns on them, and I believe some of them are electrified. Destroy houses with just one simple swipe. We've seen them uproot olive trees. On May 19th, they used bulldozers to destroy, we believe, between 1,500 and 2,000 fruit trees at the Tent of Nations farm. They build the roads into the West Bank, which are for Israelis only. They have been used in building the separation wall, which goes deep into the West Bank, into Palestinian territory, and they help build the settlements. Now, Motorola Solution produces fuses for bombs that the Israelis use against the Palestinians. As you well know, they bomb Gaza almost regularly. They also produce surveillance equipment for legal settlements. These are legal under international law, and they're throughout the West Bank. And Hewlett-Packard produces biometric, amongst other things, produces biometric scanners, which the Israelis use in checkpoints, which are throughout and inside the West Bank. There are, a few of them are on the border between Israel and the West Bank, but the majority, the large majority, are checkpoints within the West Bank.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu criticized the decision by the Presbyterian Church to divest from U.S. companies that operate in the Israeli-occupied territories. He spoke on Meet the Press on Sunday.
It should trouble all people of conscience and morality because it's so disgraceful. You look at what's happening in the Middle East, and I think most Americans understand this. They see this enormous area riveted by religious hatred, by savagery of unimaginable proportions. Then you come to Israel and you see the one democracy that upholds basic human rights, that guards the rights of all minorities, that protects Christians. Christians are persecuted throughout the Middle East. So most Americans understand that Israel is a beacon of civilization and moderation.
We're bringing in Rabbi Alyssa Wise now, Director of Organizing at Jewish Voice for Peace. Can you respond to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu?
Sure. Thank you for having me on this morning. I'm concerned about Prime Minister Netanyahu's framing of, what Israel is, because quite certainly, as Dr. Nahida Gordon just described, there are really urgent and critical human rights issues that need to be addressed both within the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem, and also there's a critical issue around lack of basic equal rights for Palestinian citizens of Israel. These are the reasons behind, this Presbyterian call for divestment, and the reason so many around the world are urging divestment as a way to remedy the urgent human rights abuses going on the ground.
And what is your role as a rabbi in arguing for this in the Presbyterian Church?
Well, I just spent the last week in Detroit at the Presbyterian General Assembly, and part of my role was, I was invited there by the Israel-Palestine Mission Network and other friends within the Presbyterian community to serve as a witness and a support to the Presbyterian process. There's, as we like to say in the Jewish community, ask two Jews a question, get three opinions. So there's quite a bit of diversity within the Jewish community around these questions around, what to do about what is now a 47-year-old occupation, and how do we stop these urgent human rights abuses against Palestinians? So in part, it is to be a strong interfaith partner and support to our friends in the Presbyterian Church, which involves strong interfaith partnerships involve kind of staying at the table, even in moments of deep disagreement. And it is my sincere hope that those in the Jewish community and other faith communities who might be, disagree with this decision will stay at the table. And not only that, will actually dig deep to actually hear the message of their Presbyterian brothers and sisters. And, one of the things most frustrating that I find from those others in the Jewish community that oppose the divestment bills is that they have no real practical solution to what to do to end these human rights abuses. You never get to hear their ideas about what will stop settlement construction, what will stop the daily humiliation of Palestinians at checkpoints, what will stop the bulldozing of olive trees and the demolition of homes. That's never the conversation at the table. And it's my sincerest hope that this action by the Presbyterians will push all of us to kind of ask those